Hello.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. Testing.
You can sit over there.
We can move Bella.
Huh? Sorry. I don't want to sit next to you anyways.
Welcome to the Deadzone Podcast. Deadzone is the sci-fi tabletop miniature skirmish game from Mantic Games. And now, here are your hosts, Rob Harper and Jack Pike. And I am your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen.
In this episode of Deadzone the Podcast, number 26 for December, we're going to discuss Mantic Open Day, and we have a little bit of news. As always, you can go to deadzonegame.podbean.com to see all the pictures, and this one has a lot of pictures in it, or you can search YouTube for Deadzone the Podcast, and that's where you'll find the video version of this episode. And now on to the show. Welcome to a much delayed episode 26 of Deadzone the Podcast.
Hello once again, my name is Jack.
I'm Rob, and we had a little special episode last time, but we're back for a regular episode. Fear not.
We couldn't, we had Pat on, and we just couldn't follow it up.
We were so devastated that he was no longer on the show, we couldn't do a show for a little while.
For a week.
No, it was a while. Anyways, so we're back, and this is a big one because Mantic Open Day happened this past weekend. Or, well, now it's last weekend. It is currently this weekend. But, so we'll have a lot of information from, a lot of pictures from all our friends over at, that went to Mantic Open Day. We also have some news to get out of the way first, and we have some other things, later we'll talk about.
Okay, well, let's get to it. We've had a little break. Now I'm full of piss and vinegar.
We're revitalized.
Yes.
So first thing we'd like to talk about, pretty soon we'll be getting our, Wave 3 shipping. And they released pictures of the Enforcer Peacekeeper sprues. Looking good. Got shields, hard plastic. Showing Jack the pictures now.
And if you want to follow along and take a look at these pictures yourself, where would we go?
Deadzonegame.podbean.com, as always. Or you can go check out YouTube. We're trying to get some more people to watch us on YouTube, but some people don't watch podcasts on YouTube, which I don't really. But these Peacekeeper Enforcer sprues look great.
They've got some of the, looks like the experimental weapon that the...
I think that's the burst laser.
And we have, looks like a flamethrower there.
Yep, it's like the regular Enforcers, but then just bigger armor. They're more like the Captain.
Nice.
So we got that going for us, which is nice.
You've been waiting for some new Enforcers to bulk up your army.
Well, pretty soon I'll have a Warpath army full of Enforcers. You already have enough for Plague. Hopefully they put Plague in the Warpath, now that you think about it. And also, with the shake-up in the community positions, as we talked about with Pat, they have a new community manager over there at Mantic. His name is Luke Watson, and he's luke.watson at manticgames.com if you have any questions. And Chris, who used to be the community manager, is now going over to head up marketing, which is kind of cool. It's good for him.
So is it Community Luke or Events Luke?
It's just Luke Watson now, actually.
Luke Watson.
He gets a real name. He doesn't get to be community or events.
I say that's a mistake.
Yeah, they should have given him a neat nickname.
Yeah.
We'll have to think of a nickname for Luke there.
Okay.
And then, before we get on to the big show, let's have a short break. The Mantic break.
Already?
Yeah, because this Mantic Open Day is gonna take us a while to go through.
Okay.
So we'll be right back.
You have been listening to the Deadzone Podcast with your hosts Jack Fike and Rob Harper. Deadzone is the tabletop game from Mantic Games. Please visit them at manticgames.com.
And we're back. Are you ready and prepared?
You've built this up. I don't know. It's got to be something special for you to make that much of a big deal over. You're giddy with delight.
Mantic Open Day. Last year was big. This year's big. And our unofficial field reporter, Fisty Glue Man, was there. He had some great coverage.
Again, Fisty Glue Man is not a real person. It's a glue bottle with fists glued to it. So
He's still a reporter. Don't take that away from him. He didn't go to 4 years of reporter school to be called Mr.
Glue Man?
He's officially Fisty Glue Man. So you can follow him at Fisty Glue Man on Twitter. And you can also check out his great picks, including Dreadball, Kings of War, and Dungeon Saga over at the link we provide on our website. Here we're just going to concentrate on the Deadzone stuff and Warpath because it's really connected.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
And also we have some great pictures from Gmorts Chaotica, as always. You can go once again to their website for the link for his shots. He has some great pics. And we also have to thank the terrain tutor Mel, who was there. He took some great shots of terrain. And Phil Atherton on Facebook, and he got us a shot of the male Pathfinder concepts. We'll go through all of that. We'll get to that. First, we'll start with some great shots of a nice diorama with all the enforcers on it.
And that's just looks like an enforcer squad. The ones that you have plus.
I think it's mostly the new peacekeepers. So you scroll down. There's more pictures of them.
The cargo containers, a little backdrop. Got a picture of the background.
And it's like I think it's a little bit of an infestation preview there because they're in front of a mine entrance. It looks like, right? Like. Yeah,
that could be. It's if they were taking pictures for a new manual, perhaps that would be the perfect backdrop to make.
That's their board they might be using? That's it.
That board for the mock-ups and stuff? Yeah, that's just speculation on my part.
Of course.
But, yeah. Okay.
So, yep, we have some great shots of that. And it's a neat-looking board there. I like the road. It's I don't know how they made it, if they made it themselves, but it's a neat-looking road.
There's enough people now on board that do terrain and they do things like that. They could put the buzz out, and I'm sure they would have more road than they could ever possibly use if they just.
And I'm sure most of them are great. They can make their own roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Next shot is a shot of the Dreadball Extreme, or not actually, it's regular Dreadball, but it's the future ones. It's of the Mechanites. We're interested in the Mechanites, so there's some assembled and painted Mechanites.
Yeah, and see, those look dynamite. Those would be so fun.
Just an example of what you can do with them.
That'd be so fun in Deadzone.
We'll either have to make our own rules, or hopefully Mantic will smarten up and make some rules for all these people.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to make any alterations to the models. Look, you could change those. They've got a ball and chain robot for God's sakes, a hammer robot. You could certainly just slap them on the board and have fun.
Yep, and they're neat looking. The way they painted them was a little cartoony, but they remind me of 2000 AD a bit, of like a little comic.
I don't know what that is, but they do kind of look like a Johnny Five meets, I don't know, Iron Giant type.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, a little scrap iron kind of.
A little scrap iron, but a little.
Johnny Five. Yeah.
I like them.
They're cool. And next we have a large series of different boards that were at the show. And the first one is just is like the Mantic board. It's the classic. I love how they put it up on like a little raised area so they can have like underground kind of stuff. So it's like slightly higher. Next is a neat one that's got a tower with a landing pad.
That's really nice.
Nice weathering done on it.
That's really nice. Just one. These are just almost like one building rather than like
big ones.
One giant building to play in rather than a city. Like we built a city to play in and around.
Yep. And there's another great shot of the tower.
Yeah.
And there's one similar to what you did, which we'll talk about later. Is a little terrordrome, little
with the
octagon,
big door, and some a bigger version.
And here's the main event. It's the oil rig. They even did like a water board at the bottom, and we'll
yeah, look at that. It's got some guns on it. Got some, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we have lots of shots.
How much do you think that would cost to build that if you were to?
It's not. It's probably a good a whole board into one building.
It's because it's big, but it'd be fun to play on.
That's what they said. People were saying, "Oh, it would be hard to play on." People were playing on it all day, I guess.
No, I don't see hard. I see eventually you would find like video games. Remember in the past when people would play first person shooters, and eventually.
Yeah, nobody plays those anymore.
I don't know. Do they? But you'd be doing the Normandy invasion, and as a Nazi, you could get up into one spot up on a corner, and you could always just shoot with your sniper rifle down, and you could be there all day, and no one knew where you were.
Yeah. You find the cheap areas.
Eventually, on a board like that, cheap areas would surface, but
there's a great shot of the water there too.
I would love to play enough that I got to the point where I found the cheap areas on that thing.
And you notice in this water shot, see the bottoms there?
One's open, one's closed.
They're open because they're dice towers. You drop the dice in the top, and they come out the bottom to roll your dice.
And that's where they end up?
Yep. And there's some billboards and things.
That's shockingly cool.
Some cool billboards. Ronnie and Fisty Glue Man billboard. There's an interior of it. Nice shot through the middle, and this is the top of it.
Nice.
Yeah, looks good. And you can see the whole depth of it. It's a huge board.
And it's got, on the interior, it's got areas to play. It's got scaffolding, gantries, towers. It's
landing
big.
pads, everything. Yep.
It's big. You don't need to. You can tell how big it is because it's the 3x3 squares. You could probably figure out just how big, but looks
it's
massive.
very big. Yeah, it's like the whole 2x2 board filled with this oil rig. Check out the pictures because it's worth it to see those pictures. And they also showed off a lot of 3D prints of new terrain that they're thinking of for the next Deadzone Kickstarter. And it looks to be more kind of accessory stuff, a different type of door, a air vent.
For probably a ceiling fan looking affair.
Different barrels, different types of grating and things like that.
Okay, so some concepts of what may be... Oh!
A new piping system, so you can put pipes around your whole place.
You know what I would put in there?
What?
Vermine. I would make a habitat, a habit trail.
Habit trail for the vermin?
A vermine habit trail.
We also got some more concepts of new races, or not new races, but new models. This one's a
Forge Father with what looks like maybe a flamethrower or a...
plasma gun or something. Another shot of a Forge Father. These are all, they were on computers there at the day. They had just screens that they were showing all these different things, so people took pictures of screens. Here's a concept shot of some vermin attacking a area.
Oh, yeah. They're kind of like a bulkier than I expected, like a sickly, thin kind of, but no, they've got a...
Yeah, they're definitely, look like they're ready to fight.
And
they are fighting, because they're shooting lasers and...
Yeah. Well, there you go. They got lots of armor, and
they're actually armored, yeah.
Apparently they're chasing people.
And we also have a concept of one.
With a gas mask. Well, you got me with a gas mask.
Yeah.
I do love me a model with gas mask.
He looks cool. And there's another shot of him with his drill gun. I like how they look like they were workers in the mine, and then here's a beastie. I'm sure it'd be similar to a maw beast, but for them, it's like a feral rat beast. He's cool looking.
And the maw beasts, we've determined they're great models, but also they're pretty effective. So it'd be nice for the vermin to have their version.
Here's a new female Pathfinder, and I like how she looks ethnic looking. She looks like she's not just some white chick.
She kinda has the same facial features of the zombie.
Zombie?
Yeah.
What zombie?
The zombies. They had a look to them with the brows and the
I don't know.
Thin face. Yeah.
And there's the male Pathfinder. Looks cool. Looks kind of like Recon, but slightly different. I like the face mask on him.
He's got the armor on the shoulder of the Enforcer armor, but then he's got like the pants and then boots like the Enforcer boots. Kind of like the best of both worlds for his specific trade.
And here's a new type of Asterion. It's called a Asterion Battle Droid. Looks like a little bit thicker than a regular Asterion. I like his single mono eye.
And although this is just concept art, it's sketches, computer-rendered sketches, but sketches nonetheless. Looks like they've been toying with different arms and different weapon. Yeah.
He's cool looking. And they also talked about Warpath, upcoming Warpath, and they showed this great picture of a space station with a ship coming in, and it's like a nice concept art, kind of showing how big the worlds are, you know? So that's a nice preview. And they have, this is a Asterion tank. Very Asterion looking, but...
Yeah, it reeks of Asterion. It's
got like different arms and looks awesome. And that similar gun as the little drones for...
So it'd be like a no cannon?
Yeah, something probably like that. And this is my shindig. This is a insta-buy. It's a Enforcer dropship.
Oh, well, yeah, that's...
It is so amazing.
Someone listens to this podcast, someone has a dream scope which is hooked to your head.
Yeah.
And when you're slumbering,
I like how
what is floating around.
It's reminiscent of the Alien one, but not a ripoff of it. Like it could be so easy to make it look like Aliens, the movie Aliens.
It looks like the Alien dropship and Slave One mated.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And that's well.
And then it's got like wings with guns on the ends and.
Just put your wallet away, Rob. Rob, put your wallet.
I'm trying to throw money at the screen.
You can't. They're not going to see it.
And then here's a jet bike, which so they were listening to me there for Enforcer's jet bike instead of the mono wheel.
Yeah, and you did like the Skyrazor, the Asterion one.
And I like how it's split down the front. This reminds me of a what's it called? from Star Wars. What are those things called?
Speeder bike.
Speeder bike. But then look how it's asymmetrical. It's got like a little arm off the one side. You see that? That's neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Mantic Open Day in a short little thing.
There's certainly given lots of previews and what's to come and kind of.
Oh yeah, Ronnie's he's always showing off what they want to do and getting feedback.
Imagine what they're keeping close to the chest when
Yeah.
they're if that's what they're just leaving lying around for any old glue bottle to take pictures of.
That's right. Thank you from Gmorts and Fisty and Mel and Phil, and thank you for taking pictures for us.
Yeah, we can't make it, so we appreciate that you take the time to send them Rob's way.
Yep, it's one day we'll make it to a Mantic Open Day.
One day.
So we'll take another quick break here. We'll come back. We'll do some shout-outs. We'll move on from there. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
We will now take a moment for an important message.
Welcome to the Strike Zone, a Dreadball podcast. Wait a sec. Where's my notes? These guys, they always forget to bring it up here. Just a sec.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's 24 successes against your Corporation Striker. I think my Orc Marauder...
I don't know, man. I think I could still do this. I got 3 dice. I could still do it. I could still make... never mind.
What are you guys doing? I need my notes. I should be recording right now, getting this promotion
Oh,
out.
hey, boss. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just wanted to get a game of Dreadball in before things got a little crazy in the office here. Yeah, so... yeah, no
Sheesh,
worries.
Man. Here we go. Here's the script right here. Let me just write it a couple more things down, make sure my spelling's good. Here you go.
Okay, let's take a look at this. The Strike Zone Podcast is a podcast for the fans, by the fans, to celebrate all things Dreadball, is child-friendly and records twice a month on warmoreradio.com. And, yeah, okay, I think that's everything, guys.
Okay, just a minute. Can you let us just finish our last turn of the game? I've got a Goblin Jack who is going to try to score with 1 dice.
So you guys are on your last turn then?
Oh, no, it's not good, because I have a 3-point lead right now, so if he gets the 4-pointer, then he actually will win, even though it's his last strike of the game, and I can't do anything about it. Then the breaks.
Okay, this is all good and everything, but we got to get going here, guys. Come on. We got a show to produce. Come on.
The Strike Zone Podcast is sponsored by Build a Clone. Build your clones today.
And we're back. And with the shout-outs.
And who has taken the time out of their busy schedules to send us a little message?
Well, first one's an email we got from Tony. And Tony did the most insane thing I've ever heard of. He started listening to our podcast from the beginning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he drank too much and then let us someone's girlfriend talk him into going to Adepticon.
No,
that's the most insane thing I've ever heard of.
No, he listened to it right from the beginning, and he said he's really enjoying the show and definitely helps keep him focused on churning out the Deadzone buildings. While he's building, he's listening to us, and he also said that he just, at the time, he listened to episode 25 of Community Pat, which was our last official episode anyways, and he said it's nice to see we're getting some official Mantic support.
It
well
is
done.
nice to see. Well,
and Pat is a good friend of ours. He's a great guy.
Well, thank you, Tony. I'm glad that we were able to give you something to listen to, keep you entertained, and keep you chugging along, building that scenery. It's there's a lot of it, and it takes some time. And I'm glad you found us and you could enjoy.
He also sent us some top secret plans for his Battlezone. Said he's entering in the Beast of War Battlezone contest. And we can't show it. We'll show it after the contest ends. But they're amazing stuff. And he might have a chance of winning with that stuff.
It's top secret.
But he, we'll show it after. He said we can show it after the contest is over. He doesn't want anybody hooking his designs.
No, I have a cyanide capsule in one of my fake teeth now. So that should someone try and pry the information from me, even if demand that I sketch out something, no. Suicide. Done.
And mentioning that Beast of War contest, we're going to have the link in the show notes, and you can go there yourself if you have some great ideas for some different. I think they really want it to be unique things. Like I know they themselves at Beast of War built out of the scenery built a Dreadball pitch, so it's just flat, and then they used stencils to spray on the hexes. And then he built little like dugouts for each side, and so out of those flats he made an actual dreadball pitch.
So that your team could go into like the
penalty box, or
and then were there like bleacher type things ringing it? So
I think he's still working on that. Right now he's just got the basics done, and he has like, it looks like it's like a deck of some ship or something, because he's got like some of the damaged ones in there, so it looks like it took some damage at times.
Well, I would like to see, you could probably, if you had the access to the tiles and imagination. See, when we build ours, we have a kind of a city that we're building, and a look that we've gone for. If you were just like, no, all gloves are like no rules. I'm going to make what makes me like.
Yeah, if we had unlimited resources, I wanted to do an aircraft carrier, or
and
we discussed an oil rig before we saw that big one from Mantic Day,
where it's just there's no nothing holding you back to like, okay, this has to be modular because we got to play on this all the time.
See, the thing for ours is we actually want to play on it, so we can't do too much to it. But
so I think that would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
And the prize for that contest is you get everything you use to make it again. So you pretty much double up all your battle zones is the prize.
Ooh.
So that's kind of cool. And we have another shout out from Rafal Maj on YouTube. We have a YouTube shout out here. And he said he just bought a Deadzone starter, so he started listening to the podcast. And he needs to make some more terrain, and then he'll post some battle reports for us to talk about, which would be cool. But he has some suggestions. He says he doesn't agree with our idea of Overwatch. And he said just everyone would start overwatching and wait for opponents to move. And he thinks it was designed as an option, not as what everybody would do. And
I disagree.
He thinks it's better that if you have nothing better to do, you just go into Overwatch and wait till the situation changes. And he said not for making power shots. And he said, well, and my idea was that we have a slightly different idea of what Overwatch is. We're coming at a different angle. Ours is more from like what we saw in XCOM. And
I think ours is more so an active thing you can do during the game to accentuate the game, and I think he's looking at, I have nothing else to do, I'll use Overwatch and maybe it'll have an effect. Two very different ways to go about it.
Yeah, he also said that the way he's thinking of Overwatch is that you're just scanning the battlefield and reacting. It's a reaction shot, where we were like, no, you're focusing fire on something.
I've chosen to spend a whole long action to do this. So I can see both sides, and I think I said that.
That's
before.
why I said, and that's why he responded. I was like, we're just your idea, your thoughts, and Jake's thoughts. Obviously, Jake's the same as him.
Yeah,
are different from what we're saying, and we've never actually played Overwatch that way, so we've still haven't tested it.
We've never had to. Well, because the games we've played, without bearing the lead too much, we've been doing some super secret missions for Pat, play testing some of his stuff. Yep. So both.
Yeah, we've been trying to play by the rules for once, and
by the rules with the right-sized armies, and also they were so well done in such a way that the mission didn't allow for Overwatch, because by design it was to be.
Well, it's supposed to be quicker.
Yeah, we're not gonna get too much into it, but
we're not allowed to say specifics. But yeah, the missions were much more. It's for a tournament play, so you don't want people just waiting. You want them getting right into the action.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks a lot from Rafal there. He let us know some ideas. He also said that it depends on how you play, about how much terrain you use and things like that. And he's getting also into Warzone, which is the Mutant Chronicles game from Protoss. And he also played Warhammer Fantasy in the past, and neither of those games use as much terrain. So he thinks he needs a bit more terrain to put on his boards and fill it up a bit more. Because we play with a lot of terrain. That's another reason why Overwatch wouldn't be super powerful for us. Yeah. The chance of actually seeing somebody through this mess of terrain we use is very slim.
Because we like building the terrain, and we like using it.
And we like filling up the boards. We like it really busy.
And to be honest, a skirmish game on a 2x2 is different than playing Warhammer on a big board.
It's not a 6x4 board.
Yeah, so Overwatch in a skirmish game, I think, can be a far different thing than a large full battle board.
Or maybe even not even call it Overwatch. How it is now should be called reaction fire, and what we're thinking of Overwatch should be more like sentry, guarding almost. Maybe just a whole different rule, like a whole different skill.
Possibly.
So it's like you have both in the game still.
Possibly.
So thanks a lot from the shoutouts. If you want to get a shoutout, just either talk to us on YouTube, email us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com, or get us on Twitter at Deadzone Podcast. And
at the end of the show, we'll repeat that, so you don't be scampering for a pencil right now. You don't need to.
And it's also in all the show notes, so it's always at the bottom of the every post.
Yeah, but we do appreciate it and thank you, and I like hearing them.
And I do like the interaction. Like, it's nice to get somebody else's view on things because we're pretty isolated in our opinions.
That because we don't have a gaming group, we have the two of us play the game, whereas other people
we drag
probably
in some other friends once in a while, but
probably have 5 or 6 other people all having these
discussions.
Whole
tournament or whole leagues. We don't have a league or anything.
No,
and that's another thing we don't see. Like, sometimes I'm sure like there's people just overpowering with different things. We just don't see it because we don't play that way. Like, we don't see max winners or
we don't have people that see something from a different way and are able to, much like Gina Davis, we are in a league of our own.
No, and with that, we'll take another slight break. We'll be back and we'll discuss other things.
Okay,
there's things to discuss.
Well, it's been a long time coming. We got a sweet action-packed show.
We're burning through quick.
Good. We'll be right back.
Do you like Mantic games? Do you want to read about your favorite games in a monthly magazine? Have we got the offer for you? Iron Watch Magazine. Iron Watch brings you the latest news, articles, and short stories taking place in the Mantic universe. Dreadball, Kings of War, Deadzone, Warpath. You want it? They got it. Ironwatch.wordpress.com. Get it now for the low price of free. You can't beat that at twice the price. That's ironwatch.wordpress.com.
Download now.
Welcome back to the Deadzone Podcast.
And we're back to talk about our stuff, what we've been up to.
Hey, everybody.
So, I'll start because, I don't know, I have nothing really to say what I've been doing. I got from Mars Attacks Kickstarter, I got the Tiger Corps / Corvus Bounty Hunters. So I painted up most of them as my own faction that I like to call the League of Aliens. And I even did some stats for them, but we did, there's some work in progress pics. And, so I got, all the aliens from those groups, and they're gonna be their own faction in Deadzone for us.
Okay.
Which is going to be fun. I had fun. I painted them up very similar look. They all have similar blue and white clothing.
Blue and white armor, but they're aliens of different races, so they're different colors. So they look tied together enough with the uniform, but obviously different enough in their features that it looks like a combination of different planets, peoples all working together to do God knows what. I don't know.
We thought of them as like a almost like United Nations, or like a UN peacekeepers. We can't call them peacekeepers, obviously. We discussed this before, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's already peacekeepers, but
we were making up a background for the models so that we could justify their existence.
And we do love playing with a bunch of different factions. Although we haven't got to, like, once again, we're trying to play legitimate with these testings for Pat there.
Yes. And
I also, last night, Jack taunted me into making one last building, one of the battle zones we have, and I built I'd like to call it it's kind of like it almost looks like some kind of walker of some sort. It's on stilts, little command base on stilts.
Yeah, it looks like an elevated...
I was thinking of it as a command post when I was building it.
Yeah, because it's got satellite dishes on it and stuff.
Yep, big gun on top.
Quite literally, there was a bag of leftovers
yeah,
and I was just like, here you go. There's the glue. Go and enjoy.
And of course, the glue was empty. So last night, just dead of night, building it, I exploded it 3 times, trying to put it together without glue.
You say, of course, the glue is empty. Like
So Jack taunted me.
Every container he has in his house.
Of course, there's more glue. It's in the drawer right there. So I glued it all together today, and I think it's pretty solid now. And it was a work of patience. And this is the first battle zones I've built since the original set, and I must say that these connectors go in much better than the originals. They snap in, like, not all the time, but most times. The originals were none of them snapped in. They've obviously tweaked the tooling a little bit.
The process, the molding, something.
Because it fits much better now. And, that's what I've been up to, and you've been up to a lot, too, because you've built huge buildings.
Well, this was a while ago that when you... I don't know exactly what the sets were. One came...
It was one of each set, actually. It was a regular, a destroyed one, a what are they called? Reinforced, fortified one, and a landing zone.
Okay, so yeah, I built a what looked like a bombed out building. It's just a demo building.
4 stories tall? At points?
It's kind of L-shaped with some higher spots, some lower spots. Like I said, we built it. We planned like a city almost, so it couldn't dominate, couldn't be too tall, too wide. But yeah, so the interior of it's pretty blasted out. So it's
mostly to save flat pieces because there was limited mounts.
Save flat pieces, but also because that. You could play with that being in towards the center of the city, and it wouldn't be taking up too much space.
Well, plus it's a pain in Deadzone. It's a pain to play inside of buildings, so it's good to have not much inside of a building.
Yeah, so
it's not like you can. Well, I guess you could build it so you could take the roofs off and get in, but most of our stuff is you put something inside a building, you have to lift the whole building off to get into the guy. So this thing's rather large. You don't want to be doing that.
Since it's the burned out bits or for the exploded bits, I did some.
Yeah, I have some great shots of the flame work and.
Oh, did you take pictures already? Okay, I made.
Yeah, you made like the edges, silicon flame.
The edges I made look like they were still hot with embers on them, and I put flames in spots.
And it looks like points where their paint's flecked off, and it's just the bare metal.
Bare metal. Like I at one point, I think I told Rob when I was doing it, I think I'm turning into a one-trick pony because I used greens and browns, like because that's.
Matches the rest of our terrain.
Our terrains go from like
army greens,
blacks, and stuff. There's
dark colors. It's all dark
pieces that are kind of lighter, but and I looked out. This is kind of where my Strider. I went from a dark green up to a light green, but had them all kind of the paint tore off.
I think you're worrying about it too much. I don't see it at all. I see it more closely resembling your Marauder Raptor you built. It looks similar to that, where it's like the chipping and that's similar, but not your mech doesn't look like that at all.
Okay. Well, long story short, you take a look. Rob,
great. He has a barrel with some goo falling out of it.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. It'll work.
Well, it's great. Well. It's great, really, on a corner. Like where you put it on, where we played the last games, it's on a corner. It worked perfectly.
And a little bit of fire here, a little bit of.
Yeah, it's really, really, really well done. And then you also built what I like to call the Terror Drome.
Much like the picture that we all just saw that someone had built and sent along to us.
The circular or octagonal building?
Yeah, like an armored circular building.
What were your ideas of it originally?
My first thought was that if I would put a door on each end, it was like where they herded people in to fight to the death. But
like some marauders, this is what they wanted. This is their way of entertainment or something.
Like the Thunderdome type thing. And I was going to put the armored walls on the inside so people could stand around the outside and watch in. But the doors, the door sitch was abysmal.
Yeah, he found for some reason, just the sets we had, there wasn't many doors.
I actually had to build a door. I had to take another wall section and cut out a door so that I could have it in the first building. So instead, I made a circular wall shape with one entrance, which...
It's kind of like a little fortified area or a holding cell, maybe, or
something. And I think maybe you could put a tower in the inside to make it. It's going to look
or a big gun, or one of our 4 guns.
It's big. It's big for a.
It's very 2x2. It definitely takes up a large space on the board, but it's nice. I like it a lot. And you also built a little building, which you haven't even gotten primed yet, but...
No, that was a little bit of... I was going to have the burned-out building. There's a couple rooms that are stuck off to the side that are completely destroyed, where there's just walls going into nothingness. And this was originally going to be the other part of that building, like separate enough I could put it anywhere else near that building, but it was going to look the exact same. But I didn't like the aesthetic, the way it matched, so that I just... finished off the sides, and I didn't even bother priming it because I didn't need to paint at the same time to make it look the same. So
yeah, we'll do something different with it. And you did a cool rubble pile on the side. You pretty much just got one of the rubble piles, cut it up, and
the rubble piles that you could either leave separate up against the wall or glue them together to make something freestanding. I wanted something different, so it didn't look the same as anything else we've done. So I just literally cut the rubble pile in half, wedge shape, made it on a corner, and then it still looked too much the same. So I took a box half from the sprue and I stuck it into the Rebel pile. And to finish it off, I took some rubber hose looking stuff and I just put 2 pieces kind of hanging out like it's...
it looks like it's part of plumbing or something that got ripped out of the building.
Some tubing or wiring or something. And I did it on a corner that already has like an overhang over top, so it kind of creates like a little nook. So I don't know if... I think since Rob built something and I have that to prime, we might just
prime it up,
prime that stuff up, and get that ready tonight. And hopefully we'll get the pictures that we need.
Yeah, I have pictures of everything there, so.
And there will be some pictures as well because we'll be doing a battle report.
Sometime we'll. It's hard because this battle report is top secret, so it's hard to say what we're doing with it, but we might just throw the pictures up just to see the battle rep.
Yeah, so there might be those pictures as well, so we'll see.
And I think one more break, or are we gonna just keep going?
That's up to you. You're in charge. This is your show.
We'll slip another break in here. I don't even know if we have this many breaks, but it'll be a quick one.
We'll invent something.
Yep, we'll make up a product. And when we're back, we'll talk about a review we did.
Product about clones.
Ooh. Cloning.
Jack!
Is that you, the ghost of Christmas past?
No, I'm the ghost of podcast's future.
I'm intrigued. Do tell me more.
The future of podcasts is written in old-time radio. I know it sounds oxymoron, but it's not.
Where can I find this podcast?
In the oldtimeradio.podbean.com.
And how many doubloons will that cost me?
It's free, unlike my soul. I have to go there. Bye.
You boy, what day is it today?
It's Canada Day, it seems.
Well, go buy that biggest Christmas goose in the window.
That makes no sense. I'm just taking your money and leaving.
Mainly at oldtimeradio.podbean.com.
And there was cloning. Or not, most likely not.
No, that wasn't cloning.
But we're back with a little review we did. This is long coming, thanks to Underground Lasers, who sent us some buildings.
Yes.
And the link to the Underground Lasers is in the show notes, obviously. They're a neat company. They're actually doing... I think they're the first company I've heard of actually doing a range specifically for Deadzone, which is great. It's nice to see that people are expanding, because of course the battle zones dominate Deadzone right now. It's nice to see some other things getting into the mix.
Yes.
And their range is really neat. They have different sci-fi ranges, and this is the 28mm 3-inch based one, which is the Deadzone one. And it came all flat packed MDF or HDF, I guess technically. And it was another. How did you feel about building this? It's been a while since we built it, but we built it literally. We just bored and we sat in the living room and built it. It was pretty quick.
Yeah, and for me, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much putting it together. It was
you went mad. You started with they have vending machines.
Yeah, because I had a little bit. I still had a little sour taste in my mouth with the ones we'd done before.
Yeah, you had trouble with microarts for some reason.
Yes, I did not enjoy putting that together. So
beautiful looking terrain, but yeah, you didn't like it putting it together.
So when Rob says, "Hey, we've got the new review to do," and I was like, "Oh yeah, here, let me put together some vending machines."
Yeah, he started off small. He's like, "I just want to do this. I don't want to do much." He blew through those. He didn't even use glue for the vending machines. I later glued them just to make them solid, but you just put them together.
Oh, they were solid without the glue. I
just wanted to make sure they didn't fall apart.
That fueled me to move on to something else. Now you had done you had decided to tackle the wall section. This is a wall section that has a gantry on the top and a actual hole, a door on the front. And I said, okay, well, there's a tower here, so I started on the tower, and I like how it went together. I enjoyed putting it together, and I enjoyed the way it looks. So much so, it was almost like, and I think I said it at the time, it was almost like a puzzle that you...
Yeah, because Was there instructions? I don't think there was, really. I think it was online. I think we could have gone online to get the instruction. We never did.
But it was the way I was enjoying putting it together, and it had a feeling of putting together a 3D puzzle, like just sitting and enjoying it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah, they were nice. And in the end, there was 2 towers that were similar.
Yes.
And then I did, the wall section, which I really like that wall section. And they have more parts of that wall. It'd be amazing to do like an outdoor wall with that.
Well, it's the first thing that we reviewed that I was very, very close to dusting off my credit card and buying some more.
Yeah, because it was really nice. This stuff is really nice.
And that's saying something. A couple more of those wall sections.
Yeah.
And I thought one more tower, because there's a one that comes with 2 cubes that could either be a tower or just a
separate cubes.
Or a cube that breaks up the wall sections. And I thought one more of that and 2 more wall sections, you could have the entire length of a board.
Just one side, yeah. So you have to fight through the entrance to get into the other half or something?
Yeah, you could divide the place in half. You could make it on one side.
That'd be really interesting, actually.
You could make it one end for a diorama, like make that just a background. I almost made a purchase.
Yeah, if we didn't have so much terrain already, I think it would definitely be an insta-buy for us, but we just have so much terrain.
Yeah, like we could do just now a MDF terrain board.
Oh yeah, easy, a 6x4 board.
Yeah.
And you painted up the part of one tower. You did one tower. And
as a test, I didn't with the MDF, and it does absorb liquids, and paint is a liquid. And I wanted the etching because they really went to town. I like the design of the windows. It's got like a
almost like Oriental but futuristic kind of
sci-fi window thing, and they have all the etching, and I didn't want to obscure that. So what I did was I did one tower with matte green spray paint to see how it looked, and it took it well. You can see all the details still. If I haven't painted any more, that was just a test to see what it was like. And then we can take pictures and see it unpainted, so we could show you what it looks like put together. But certainly, I would have no problem just painting up the rest the same way and then getting to the detail work. And
I had the concession, or what are they called, the
vending
lockers.
Machines.
They're vending machines on one side and lockers on the other. And to paint them, I used because it's such small details. I used pens, like markers, to do the little details. And then I did some washes over it. It's pretty rough because the MDF, the way it goes, I might have to do some like clear coat on it, or it also looks damaged.
They look like old vending machines. Yeah. That looks really good.
And then we have all the different ones. I think the marker worked well. It kind of like it filled it in. There's no way you could paint it like this without the markers, you know?
Yeah, no, it does the job.
And I like the gun one. There's one that's a gun vending machine.
And I like even the lockers. Stick them side by side.
Yep. And it's I don't know how useful a bunch of things is, but it's it looks good.
As
they were kind of like the addition to one of the sets. They just threw in a bunch of lockers.
But for as clutter on a battlefield for especially in a line of sight game.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoyed the look of them, and you obviously enjoyed putting them together for once.
I enjoyed putting them together, and I like the look of them. So let's get down to the nitty gritty then. Where would we find these? If someone wanted to purchase, well, actually, we'll give our rating first.
Okay.
Then we'll get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna give a conservative 4 out of 5. Almost bought mores.
Yeah. You're really conservative, but I also give it a 4 out of 5. They're nice stuff, and you can go to their undergroundlasers.com, and the link once again will be in there.
Undergroundlasers.com, and what would be the cost of just what we put together?
Let me see. Well, they have a neat perimeter wall deal, which we didn't get. We just got the one piece of it, but it's the wall and the 2 towers for $40.
$40, yeah.
So that's cool. And just the wall that I did was is $9.90 right now on sale. The other piece that you put together is $20, and then the smaller little cube are $9.90 each. So it's a great little sets, not expensive at all.
So literally $40 you can get basically what we got. Another maybe $20 for a couple more pieces. And like I said, you could section off a whole.
Yeah, and you paint it up, it looks great. Solid pieces, really well built. They have like other things like radar dishes and buildings, like actual stores, and there's acrylic pieces. We have a radar dish on one of ours. It's got like orange acrylic as part of it.
So take a look. Go to the website and take a look. If you're looking for, it works with Deadzone, which this is the Deadzone podcast.
Yeah, they have other ones too that aren't just for Deadzone.
We deal with Deadzone, so we specifically have addressed the Deadzone compatible ones, but they have a lot of stuff. Take a look, and if you're looking for a little something different.
Yeah, look at this wall section package.
Now Rob is showing me what appears to be a small fortified area. It's just 3 of the wall sections. They've got a nice slant to them, with a tower in the center.
They also have like a Jurassic Park like laser fence.
So you could
fence off areas and
make a.
Each wall section's $10 for a 6-inch wall. So it's not too much money just to build a nice wall. And then they have corner pieces, and then they have actually interiors too, which is amazing.
Okay, so what's that website? One more time, send some people over there, and because it's nice stuff. I liked it.
Yeah, undergroundlasers.com, and you can the link to the actual 28mm sci-fi stuff is in the show notes.
Excellent. Very good.
Yep. And I think that brings us to another end of this podcast.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
Okay, well, it was a while. We had a small break. Things happened. Natural disasters.
Oh, well, there is a bit of the news at the end here. I forgot to mention.
Oh.
Jack kind of implied it earlier.
And I kind of wondered when I said, are we really done? Because
I thought... Just one more thing to quote Steve Jobs.
Just one more thing to quote Steve Jobs? Okay.
And that is, come March 19th to 23rd in good old Schaumburg, Illinois, near Chicago. There's a little event called Adepticon.
Okay, just in case you didn't know, there's a thing called Adepticon.
So for anybody in the area, we're going to be there, yes?
Yes.
We're going to be there.
Someone was drinking, and...
Someone's girlfriend said that she'd drive, and, next thing came to another, and we ordered tickets.
We ordered tickets?
I ordered tickets.
I didn't think... There was a bit of a shindig. There was, people here milling around, a party-like atmosphere, and next thing you know, I get a confirmation email from Adepticon saying, I have now got a ticket. So...
Yep, we'll be there. Definitely, anybody who wants to hang out with us Friday or Saturday, I'm sure we'll be kicking around. Saturday is the Mantic, like their own version of the North America Open Day.
And we will be there. That is the...
Yeah, that's the main event for us.
That's the main event for us.
And I'm sure we'll be kicking around the show floor.
Well, and since Adam Tremblay is going to be
there.
Yeah,
Adam and Pat.
We'll find him. Pat, of course, we'll find him.
Hopefully get to meet Ronnie, because Jack wants to try to lift him up for some reason.
Yes, that's what I was saying last night. Again,
a little drunk.
We were drinking. I do not plan to fireman's carry Ronnie Renton. Well,
security, don't worry.
You don't have to have excellent bodyguards on hand. The thing is, like on Adam's show, he's put out he was talking about what if someone wanted to approach him, what he looked like, and I think if you're so inclined and we're there and you want to approach us, Rob is he's got red hair, the fire from hell, a strong, strapping young man with an approachable face.
Yeah, that's probably not true, but...
And I look like a lumberjack, so...
Especially if you wear the flannel.
I will be wearing flannel, probably.
We also hopefully have our shirts on. We got some Deadzone the Podcast shirts we'll be wearing.
That's a possibility as well.
And, come see us, because hopefully we'll have some, maybe some magnets and stuff like that on us. Other stuff, stickers maybe.
Something to hand out.
We'll hand out. Just come say hi. And, other than that, I think we're helping Pat playtest some of the for the Deadzone tournament, so we won't be playing in the tournament, but...
No, we won't, because now we already have...
Yeah, we'd be cheating, I think, if we at this point.
Our armies might be a little
We'd be
tweaked.
like, oh, really? Maybe we know how to play every single mission.
Yes, and there's still more we've got to do, so we'll get back to that in the near future, but until our next podcast, it's been a slice.
Yep, I'm Rob.
And I'm Jack.
See you in March. The Ides of March.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Here is your host, Rob, to tell you how to contact us here at the Deadzone Podcast.
Thank you, Wintergreen. You can listen to us on our website, deadzonegame.podbean.com. You can email us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at Deadzone Podcast. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Join us next time for some more of the Deadzone Podcast.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some burger places give you a lot less meat on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Koala Cody's, we serve koala burgers we modestly call a single. And Koala Cody's single has a lot more meat than a Whopper or a Big Mac. At Koala Cody's, you get more meat and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better? You're a Koala Cody kind of mate.
Time to make the koala burgers.
Koala Cody's koala burgers are always fresh.
I made the koala burgers.
We make them at least twice every day.
Time to make the koala burgers.
Not a few kinds like other burger joints.
I made the koala burgers. Time to make the koala burgers.
But up to 52 varieties.
I made the koala burgers. Time to make the koala burgers. I made the koala burgers.
Koala Cody's has up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No other burger joint can say that.
What's this stuff?
Some burger. It's supposed to be good for you.
I'm not gonna try it.
Let's get Mikey.
Yeah, he won't eat it. He hates everything.
Yum. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Regular, barbecue, and teriyaki. Koala burgers. Nutritious and delicious. Only at Koala Cody's.
My koala burger has a first name, it's Koala. My koala burger has a second name, it's Cody. It's Koala Cody, and you see, it's the only one for me. Before I...
Koala Cody's koala burgers with a taste kids love. Now that's something to sing about. Co-op, co-op,
lot,
co-op, co-op,
lot,
Co-op. Cody's.
Co-op.
Lot.
Co-op.
Cody's.
Lot.
Co-op.
Co-op. Lot.
Cody's.
Co-op. Lot.
Cody's.
Co-op. Lot.
Cody's.
Co-op. Lot.
Cody's.
Co-op. Lot.
Your eye cream for that troublesome eye socket. Here's a word from our founder.
Saw some one-eyed kids down at the pier. They were pumping eye cream into their sockets. And I thought to myself, I can do better.
Look for the can with Reginald the Pirate on it.
Yar, that's me. Make sure to get in all the nooks and crannies. Yar, eye cream.
Your eye cream. Only the best.